right, guys, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Now, if you want to get started with a free trial at squarespace.com and no credit card required, go there now. And when you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code RUE. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU.
What do you want? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea?
Hey, it is RuPaul with What's the Tea and Michelle Visage. Did I say that right? What's the tea?
It's fine. It works.
Yeah, okay, all right. We have lots of show for you.
We do, kitty girl.
So exciting. I got to tell you, the other day I just happened upon this podcast on my own and I listened to a little bit of it.
Which one? Do you remember?
I think it was the one we were talking about plastic surgery or something like that. It had me laughing. I thought it was so much fun. It's like being there with the two of us.
Because they are. It's our big family, and this is the easiest way to join us.
I love it, and I'm glad you guys are here. Now, speaking of family, we have a special guest with us. I don't know if we want to go to the special guest now, Michelle, or do we have a topic? We don't really have a topic other than, I think our special guest is enough of a
because
topic.
she's got so much to talk about, including surgery. We can talk about everything.
We'll talk about everything. Well, I guess we could let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
We've got Chi Chi LaRue is here.
Hi.
Let the pussy out of the bag, girl. Meow, meow.
Yes, fresh from a tummy tuck.
Yes.
Really? Did you just have a tummy tuck?
I did.
Really?
17 pounds of flesh.
Yeah, but didn't you
removed
go
from my
somewhere
body.
to get it done?
No, I had it done in Beverly Hills by
you did
Dr.
it here.
Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's talk about this. Now, how did you shop? How did you find the tummy tuck? Is it someone you've worked with before?
Yes, he did my lower facelift after I lost the 150 pounds and I had the turkey neck, and he did that, and he did such a great job, and he's so awesomely quirky and so cares about it that he's been trying to get at my stomach for 5 years.
Well, for people who don't know, she used to be a big girl.
Yes, 360 pounds.
And you lost the weight how?
I had gastric bypass.
You did. And a lot of things that happen with gastric bypass, with the things that can go wrong, people need to know about it because there's a lot that goes wrong, more with that than the lap band.
Well, I'll tell you something that went terribly wrong
With
was
you?
my gallbladder, yes.
What happened with your gallbladder?
Well, you're supposed to have your gallbladder removed once you... So my doctor was telling me you're eventually going to have your gallbladder removed. And
because of the surgery?
yes, because it doesn't... It's working for nothing.
Okay.
It's working. And it can build up to the point of where it gets infected because it's working for nothing.
Okay.
What is it supposed to do? What is the gallbladder?
Well, a gallbladder was originally supposed to break down rotten meat in the years of cavemen.
I've met plenty of rotten meat in my day,
and they're hard to break down. But so I went to Australia.
It has to do with bile and all that stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
And I went to Australia, and I took a flight, and I got back, and I went in for the surgery, and it's only supposed to take 20 minutes.
the gallbladder surgery.
Yes.
No, the gallbladder's in it?
Yes, because they go in laparoscopically and just snip it and take it. It's really small.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, mine had blown up to the size of a baseball.
Yeah, unless it's filled. I have major stones in mine.
In your gallbladder?
I do, but when you go to a surgeon, this is getting so clinical, but the long story short is, if it's asymptomatic, it's not bothering you, you don't got to mess with it. If it's not causing any problems. I don't have any pain, but if you've ever had a gallbladder attack, it's horrendous.
Yeah, it's the worst. Right. And so mine swelled up to, and I was in surgery for 3 hours. So I came out of surgery.
If that thing leaks into your,
it's bad. It's
Bad.
bad.
Toxic. Yeah.
So he said, they had to pull it through my belly button. This is very gross, but
No.
they had to pull it through my belly button. And I was in the hospital they did it. They let me go. And something kind of happened during the surgery where he nicked something and bile was leaking out.
Go.
And so I had to be rushed to the emergency room, rushed back. It was horrendous.
But that, by the way, common side effect of getting your gallbladder removed.
Yeah.
That nicking situation.
Right. So I was in the hospital for a week and I turned beige. My hair was beige. My eyes were beige. I was like,
oh, you were monochromatic.
I looked like a baby bird.
Fierce.
Yeah.
Or a piece of dryer lint.
And I was so skinny. I was like down to 170 pounds, which is
fabulous.
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
But it was unhealthy, Rue. Don't get caught up in numbers.
Listen, there's a price to pay for beauty, and
So wait, you did
walking.
the gallbladder before the belly? Not the tummy tuck, the band.
No, I did the gastric bypass is what brings on the gallbladder surgery.
Okay, so then you did. Gotcha. So, but you did the gastric bypass. Then after you did at a different time. Did the gallbladder?
Yes.
Many years later.
No, like a year. And I should have done it before. And actually, now that I think about it, my doctor should have just done it then.
Right.
We should have just taken it out that day.
So then you had that done.
Yes.
And then how long did it take you to, how much weight did you lose?
I lost about 150 pounds
In
a year.
a year. And then you had all this loose skin.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Which I've had for, I was blessed with my mother's body. She was a big Norwegian woman with great big boobs and a big belly and tiny legs and tiny arms, which I've always had. So that's why asymmetrical dresses looked really good on me in drag. Because
I think asymmetrical look good at everybody.
Yeah. So my legs were stems, beautiful stems coming out the bottom of and I was 360 pounds, but I had these little legs and these little arms, so I could feature those.
Yeah.
So this loose skin has always, I would lay in bed and throw it around and bend over and shake it and look like a dog that had just
Like
had
I do with my boobs.
litter of puppies.
Like Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, totally. It's just like I would look at it and it's kind of whether or not people admit it, certain bad or gross things on them become a security blanket.
Agreed.
Wait a minute. What was the security blanket?
My
You mean
stomach,
your loose
my skin,
Right,
yes.
right.
And, you tuck it in a pair of Spanx and, I got whatever. So
Was it like a badge of honor for you in a way that a woman wears her stretch marks with a badge of honor?
No,
Meaning
it was
'cause
like a
you've
way
lost?
to not have to take my clothes off during sex.
Right.
Yeah. Any married woman can understand that.
What woman carries her stretch marks as a badge of
A
honor?
lot of women.
Babies that
after
have had
you
babies.
women that have had children wear them with pride and honor and say, listen, this
Look, I had 5
I earned
children.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This
Okay.
came from my babies.
Well, these
Because-
girls nowadays don't have stretch marks because they all do. Isn't it the cesarean or the?
Well, I have a cesarean and I have some stretch marks on my hips, but mostly.
I was a cesarean baby.
Oh, really? I had a Caesar salad for lunch.
Oh,
yesterday.
my
It was delicious.
Do you have any
With or
scars
without-
from it?
I had no scars.
With
Oh
or
my
without
God.
chicken?
No, I had chicken on it.
Okay, good.
And extra sauce.
What I'm getting to is the lower facelift because you and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obsessed. But no,
Right.
okay, let me just backtrack
Okay,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit and get the chronicle order, okay? The
Okay.
chronological order.
Okay.
Because what happens, first you had a facelift and first
First,
you
you had the gastric bypass.
First was the gastric bypass, which
Yes.
was when? How long ago?
Oh, geez, like 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
6 or 7
Which,
years.
by the way, people could gain weight right back, and
And
she
within
has kept
less
it off.
than a year. I mean, less than a year, people can gain it all back if they don't. My doctor was so smart. He took me off of. He made me drink. Didn't make me. Had me drink, and this shows a sign of my willpower. Had me drink protein shakes with water for 2 weeks prior to the surgery
To get you used
get used
to.
to your stomach
to
being small.
lose at least 20 pounds so that my liver would shrink so he could get in there laparoscopically instead of having to cut me wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have pickles and I could have carrots
Before the surgery.
during the drinking of the
Shakes.
protein shakes. So pickles and carrots became my best friend. So
I love a
wow,
pickle.
a pickle.
I love a pickle. Who doesn't
Pickle
love
and
a pickle?
Okay, pickles and carrots. That's all of a sudden
Very
very
phallic,
entering
isn't
into
it?
my other line of work.
Yes.
Okay, so
Which is a chef
yes. A chef of
of sorts.
sausages.
Yes.
Okay, so and so I lost 23 pounds before I even had the surgery.
Wow.
Well, let's try the pickle carrot diet,
I think
And
it's great.
it actually weaned me off of sugar,
which is the devil.
which is the devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't care about ice cream or cakes or cupcakes or candies or.
Was it a thing before? Did you used to love them?
Well, I had diabetes before.
Okay, so I'm
Wow,
going to keep you on
this
track
is
now.
wild.
You had this gastric bypass surgery.
Yes.
You lost 20 pounds before you had the surgery.
Yes, then I had
you
the
had the
surgery.
surgery
Yes.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
and you had a lot of loose skin. And upon having that surgery, your doctor said, well, look, you're going to eventually have to have your gallbladder taken out because
Yes.
that is the part 2 of the gastric bypass
Because it stops,
surgery.
it's working and it's doing nothing. It's
yeah.
working itself into a frenzy.
Right, and you had to, and you waited several years though. You
I
didn't-
waited like a year before, and then my doctor said, okay, well, we need to plan this. So I said, I'm going on to a trip to Australia.
Yeah.
And I went to Australia and I did a little press thing and did an adult convention and I did a couple DJ gigs. And when I got back from I had no pain.
Right.
I had no symptoms whatsoever that there was something going on in
With
me.
your gallbladder.
Yeah.
With my gall- but it was
okay.
infected. It was big and infected and mad and at any minute was going to attack.
Yeah.
So I went in, and normal surgery takes 20 minutes. So, it didn't, and blah, 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 and all the things that I said before. And so that happened. Then I had, then the next thing was my wobble, my turkey neck.
Right. Okay.
So I had a lower facelift, and which was awesome.
And the same guy, Dr. Cohen, here in Beverly Hills, did all of these surgeries?
No, some doctors in Long Beach did my gastric bypass, which was the new program.
Right. It wasn't Dr. Dre, was it?
No, it wasn't Dr. Dre.
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't Dr. Love.
Oh, okay. Right.
So,
Dr. Feelgood, maybe.
Dr. Feelgood, well,
on the side.
he didn't make me feel good when he nicked my thing in my gallbladder. But
So
that's okay.
a lower facelift is, for people who don't know, is like the neck and jaw area, and it doesn't mess with the eyes.
No.
Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Because a full facelift does what? You have to cut where?
Right around. I mean, it reminds me of a legendary story, which I'll tell. It's, they have to cut into your hairline, deep into your hairline and behind your ears, and then pull it all up. I mean, it's a lot of pulling.
Yeah, yanking and
And
pulling
then they
and
cut
snatching.
it, cut it and put it back together.
Yeah, they cut it. They basically cut around your hairline and then cut behind your ears, and they just pull it all up. And my beard is now growing behind my ears.
That's
actually.
hot. That's hot.
I
Yeah,
love it.
every once in a while I'll find a 10-inch hair behind my ear, and, in drag, and I'll see it as I'm powdering, and and all of a sudden there's powdered 10-inch.
That's what, Kenny Rogers used to tell that story. That his
Is that
beard,
true?
Yeah, he used to say his beard is now growing behind his.
Well,
his
yes,
But
it
it's
is.
true.
It's
It's actually
absolutely
true.
true.
And you never got electrolysis or anything.
No.
Right.
So I didn't. You know what? My beard is so soft that I don't even think I could really grow like a Duck Dynasty beard or anything.
Well, darling,
like that.
I'd like to fill a bra myself. But listen, now, you remember years ago we were at Peanuts and you said, look, that girl over there, she's that queen who went down to Tijuana and had her face
Well, that's
removed.
what I was going to tell you. Sulka.
Sulka, yes. Now,
What
was
do you
she a
mean removed?
biological woman?
No, she was a famous transsexual porn star who was one of the first. Okay, I've got many stories. Can we be dirty?
You said was?
Can we be dirty?
Can
So
we
is
be
Sulka-
dirty? Are we dirty on this
No,
thing?
we are angelically clean.
That's right.
Are we?
But you know
Because
what?
Jesus is watching.
Clean is dirtier
Well, then
than
let me tell you a clean version.
No, we don't
of
want
those-
to clean. We're just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So one of the famous stories about Sulka is she would go to Walgreens and she, those designer imposter
Of
fragrances?
course.
She would buy the designer imposter version of Taboo.
Yeah.
And she would buy every can that they had on the shelf.
Right.
And she would buy it. Well, what she would do is her remade vagina.
Right.
She would take one of those cans of designer
Imposters.
perfume and she would empty it out into her vagina.
But why?
Because she was afraid that it smelled bad.
So
she would put perfume inside of her
Designer,
man-made,
yes.
her designer vagina.
Yes.
Would drink up designer
Her-
imposter.
So she had an
Imposter.
imposter vagina, is what she had. She had a designer imposter vagina.
She had a designer vagina with imposter filling.
But why taboo and why?
What do you mean?
perfume?
Why taboo? Why not?
I
She
don't
is
know.
taboo.
I mean, it's actually
I
kind
love
of perfect.
it. Yes, it's
but
so
I mean,
poetic.
she just really was self-conscious about that, and she
Does
would
it
literally
smell?
take the can, put the nozzle up, and squirt the entire can.
I thought you meant she'd
up
shove
there.
the can up there for dilating.
No. She'd empty the can out into her vagina
Now,
so it didn't
do
smell.
man-made vaginas get scents? I would think they do in the
I
same
think
way.
that back
So,
when
yeah.
I think back when she got hers, it was not really that sophisticated.
Right.
And she probably got it in Tijuana. She got she got lots of things in Tijuana. Like
I wanna
her
know about her
hips.
face.
Okay, so the face. So
But can you? Let me just stop it. You keep saying can of taboo. Taboo came in a bottle.
no,
though, didn't
no,
it?
the
so
designer
the spray
impersonators
cans.
came in those tin
Those long,
cans.
skinny cans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you
They were
like, if
aerosol.
you like taboo,
You'll love Gotcha.
Sinful. So
Tabby.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
like, what's that Beverly Hills? What was that one that
Giorgio.
If you
Giorgio.
like Giorgio, you'll love Rodeo Drive.
Yes, exactly. And they were the colors, they were black and red or
They look
yellow.
exactly the
yes,
same.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't smell quite the same, but
They're
whatever.
good enough when
It
they're
cost
$5,
$3.99.
right?
You're emptying into your designer vagina.
Hello?
Yes. Right.
And so she had this face. It was a face that was really It was a face.
Yes.
It was a big, big face.
It was a look.
It was a big, big face.
Lots of silicone.
And, but it was like just crazy big.
Oh,
Yeah, I
would've loved
remember.
her.
What
Is she
you're
not with us
thinking-
anymore?
No, she's
probably
not. And
But
you had to have experienced a close-up encounter with her to really appreciate
during the
it.
daytime.
Well, even at night it was a little jarring.
I remember. I saw her a few times at Peanuts here in Los Angeles. The
Yeah.
club. It's 6979
Well, now it's something else. Now
That's
it's
the address.
But the address was
7969
Santa Monica
Yeah,
Boulevard.
and it was called 7969
Yeah.
for a while.
Right.
After it was Peanuts.
I went to Peanuts with you the first time I was
Yeah,
here with
I
you.
remember. Yes, yeah, and they had
No,
granny
thank you.
strippers. They had, because we're being politically correct. They had granny strippers.
Oh my God, I love it. Actual old women? Actually,
do that now? Oh, you've been saying that.
No, I just decided. Because
Is it actually
we can't-
old women?
No, we cannot. We can't say the T word.
So it's now
you know what?
granny.
That makes me so angry.
That's
know,
not
that's
granny chases not me.
Okay, yeah. What?
Oh my god.
So we just replaced T with G.
Okay,
and
well,
we got J.
well, that reminds me of. I just love how the fact that our RuPaul drives had to be edited 3 times.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right,
Oh my
right.
God.
Well, you
Well,
know,
I'm sorry. You know what? That makes me angry.
I know.
Of course.
But
Anyway.
Solka, it wasn't
Solka?
Solka.
Sulka.
Solka, because there was another
She
one.
had a sister named Silka.
Silka, but there was a straight. There was a hetero porn star with a name like that. They were famous, the most famous 70s female porn.
Seika.
Seika.
Dottie. And she's a good friend of mine. She's
Seika,
fabulous.
Salka,
And she's still with us.
Yes.
That's right.
She
right.
lives in Chicago and she's a doll.
Yes.
Absolute
Right, back to
doll.
Salka.
Okay.
And her big face.
So she would go to Tijuana like every 2 years. And
For
she
injections?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
She would have to go there. They would cut around the perimeter of her face, drop it off, the face off.
Take the face
off.
Yeah.
Scrape all the old silicone out of the inside of the face.
Yes.
Swear to God.
Swear to God. Put the face back on,
Yeah.
sew it up, and then re-inject.
Oh, put more
Why?
in.
Because
Yes.
it would travel? Why?
Because it was going awry.
Yeah.
And it was, silicone is not good.
Because it's free floating. When it's free floating,
yeah,
it's craziness.
it's not good. It kind of.
Well, I
mean,
beg to differ.
I remember a granny in Texas.
Oh my God!
A granny in Texas who had.
It brings no meaning.
I'm sorry.
It's so good.
It is
It's
so
so much.
amazing.
It's better, actually.
It's even better.
Okay, you have to do a granny challenge on the show. I'm sorry. Okay, so. Oh my God, old age makeup with like great big tits. Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
she got silicone injected into her face and she went to bed and slept on one side of her
Oh,
face.
no.
And when she woke
Lies.
up,
Swear.
No, swear.
Is that an urban legend?
No, that is true. She worked at that Rose Room was Dallas or Houston, wherever the Rose Room is, and she slept and.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't
Oh
laugh, but
my
it's if
God.
you can see what she's doing.
No,
there,
but
okay.
I mean, it's like, and then there's the granny in Florida who was who was injecting people with
did you
liquid
see that?
cement.
Yes, I remember her. Yes.
Well, wasn't Priscilla Presley in on some
She
Lionel
went to
Richie's
a party, yes.
ex-wife?
Yes, and went to a party. This is what I read in the
They were
papers.
injecting motor oil or something
Yes,
crazy.
all
Yes.
kinds of stuff. Yes.
And then do you remember Heather? She's not with us anymore, but she was a
granny?
a granny in Texas that used to have silicone parties, and boys would go and get their chests.
Sure.
I remember I was in a
I know
limo.
a granny named Detox who likes to have those parties.
Ooh, I love her new Tom Ford glasses, by the way, that she's been Facebooking to
Aren't
death.
they cute?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very jelly. So
Okay, so not right now. Solka had to go to Tijuana, have her face
Taken
Taken off.
scraped, and put back on, and
then
she would
re-inject it.
re-inject
What's
again.
the
Well,
point?
yes. Well, you have to because her face is stretched The skin on her face is
Can they do
stretching.
implants? Give her cheek
or
implants.
just get a
Back then,
facelift.
you guys, silicone was probably $5 a shot. I don't know what to
that's-
say.
Oh, you're
It's
going
reason-
back to what, the 80s?
Well, it's reasonably
Oh,
priced.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's reasonably priced.
I'd take
you know,
$5 a syringe.
Sure, why not?
I mean, yeah, nowadays it's like $1,000 just to get my face Botoxed.
yes, right, exactly.
Because
yeah.
we need a little bit more.
Which
as
I
we
think
get,
I
Yeah.
need some right now.
as we get a little older, darling.
Okay, so now let me get you back on track.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So now, Chi Chi LaRue is our guest. We are talking about procedures. We haven't even talked about your
Career.
Your iconic
Oh, that's boring. It's been-
career.
Oh, it's not boring to us.
It's
Okay,
not boring to
okay,
us.
all right.
Now, in the case you didn't know, Chi Chi is the premier, the most famous porn director ever in the history of porn.
It's a bit of an empire, if I do say so
I love
myself.
following her on
Chi-Chi.
Twitter just to see her pictures.
Well, that's what you said to me on the cruise last year. You said, "Oh, I'm not going to stop following you because it's exciting, and you
Yeah,
make my
I
day
love it.
when the
Ooh, these pictures just come through my feed.
when the penises pop up."
Yes!
Yeah.
Well, Jane Weedland from the Go-Go stopped following me because
Because
my-
of that?
because
Yes.
of penises. Yeah.
We're really good friends, but she said, in that voice, she, I can't have those frocks popping up every 5 minutes on my feed.
Well,
Oh,
that makes
dear.
me happy when those frocks pop up in mine.
Well, now, when you started in porn as a director in the late '80s, like '87.
Well, I moved here in '86, and I made my first movie like at the beginning of '87.
Strictly
beginning of
gay
87.
porn?
Strictly gay
Strictly
porn.
gay
Well, no,
porn.
You've done it all.
I've done granny porn.
Yeah.
I've
Which, by
done,
the way, is my favorite.
Is granny porn?
Granny porn is my favorite before surgery.
Yes, when they still
Well, yeah,
have
that's
when they
called-
still have their
Not the-
penises.
yes.
Well, that is
pre-op granny.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pre-op
pre-op
granny is my
grannies.
favorite type of
Exactly,
porn.
yeah.
I think it is so hot. I don't know what it says about me.
Yeah.
But I think it's so
It
hot.
says
says
that
it-
you're an ultimate freak, which I love. And we know that.
No, what it
Yeah, we
says,
do.
Chi Chi, is that she's a granny chaser.
Yes,
Totally.
I am.
Yeah, well, of course you are.
I got my Metamucil.
Girl, of course you are.
I think it's so hot and so sexy.
I know. I see your eyes light up when certain when the certain girls walk on the stage. I know your favorite.
That's
Because
right.
I met you, Chi Chi, in it was either '87 or '88 when you were hosting.
Well, I just did a thing with Johnny McGovern, that Hey Queen show,
Yes,
which I
yes.
love, and I told them the story of the night that I was hosting.
Yes.
the 4-star,
The
and you
4-star.
entered the contest, and you sang Star Booty, and you won the contest.
We're here?
here
Yes.
in LA, 19.
Really?
It was 88,
You
87.
entered the
Yeah, 87.
Who knows? 88, 87.
This
Yeah.
was like, okay, this was RuPaul. This was
Mohawk
wife
and-
beater,
Androgypal.
wife beater, shredded.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know it
It
very
was
well.
exciting, and you won the contest, and it was fabulous. And that's the night we became friends.
Yes, and I won a whole $25.
What did you
Actually,
do
You won
with it?
100.
What did you do with it?
I don't know, but I was on at the end of my rope out here because I was trying to make something happen.
From-
Nothing
from
was
San
happening.
Diego?
I had come
Or from Atlanta?
New York or Atlanta. I don't remember.
Okay.
You know, it's been like so many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was both. I was New York, Atlanta.
You were bi.
but I was bi exactly. So
That was the
I
last
I
time
wasn't-
that happened.
I wasn't a granny at that
No,
point.
you were not.
But, so then I met you then, and then you started your career as a porn director shortly after that.
Right, a little. It was kind of like intermixed because I was working at the 4-star. I remember
Was that a bar?
yes,
Okay.
which is now Mickey's.
Mickey's.
Oh,
Mickey's.
wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Which and there was a drag queen there that was the star of the show
Was it
named
Bobby something?
Erica Andrews.
Erica-
Not Erica Andrews. Erica something. But she would every night. Her thing was to come flying through the curtain doing Whitney Houston. And it was just like the same song, the same shtick. And one night she just didn't show up. And I was there to do the show, and they were like, "You have to host." And she never came back.
Really?
Nope.
And did you get the gig?
She got a girl pregnant.
Oh, well, as one
as
does.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
And she had a little bit of a problem. And the problem overtook her, and she never came back, and I was given the show.
Yes.
So I was running and you know what the show was called.
What was it called?
The drag show was called, the drag contest was called Drag Race.
No.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Look
My
at life
goodness.
imitating art, full circle.
How
No, it was
funny.
Wednesday nights Drag Race at 4-star.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
I tell you, you pay attention to the universe long enough, and all the clues are there.
Maybe somewhere in your head that was
Somewhere-
locked
yeah.
in.
Well,
you know?
and I don't think that you even entered. Yeah, you did enter Drag Race because it was a drag queen contest,
Right.
And people like the Goddess Bunny would enter every week,
Yep.
and she would do like
Is the Goddess Bunny
Ca-
the former late or now the current Lady Bunny?
No.
No, the Goddess Bunny is she's in a wheelchair.
She's a thalidomide baby.
What is
Is that
that?
how you say it?
I don't know.
That's where the arms are. It's like
Like fully developed?
well, yeah, and she's twisted. Her body, her bones are twisted and
Gotcha.
stuff.
Right.
But she would wheel herself in a wheelchair, and she would get up on stage and she would do Karen Carpenter.
Yes.
Like Drop Dead Gorgeous. This is
Like in the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous. Yes. But this is a girl who has a great sense of humor. You know,
Yeah,
would make
yeah.
fun. She wasn't like
What was
She
May
do
victim?
maybe this time I'll win. You know, and
Oh
it was
my
like,
God, that's amazing!
yeah. And she never did win.
She should have won. Is she still around?
she's still around.
I think she's
She is
still around.
I would love
now,
to see
there's
that.
a famous story about her, an urban legend about her, about that little porn tape that she did with a hot hustler from Santa Monica Boulevard, where she was filmed having
No, the Goddess
sex with
Bunny
this
is
guy.
a drag queen or a girl?
as in
Biological
drag,
woman?
in drag.
Right.
Oh no, she was having sex
She's a
with
drag
a
queen.
man.
Okay.
She's a drag queen, and she, didn't really do the proper
Cleaning.
cleaning.
Oh,
And
yes,
it
yes.
was quite messy. And
Right.
Some people like that. There's a whole.
hello, Germany.
Yeah.
That went around.
I knew David Hasselhoff liked something.
Right.
That went around for years in the club kid
Did it?
community, and back when we would do those clubs. I mean, she was an underground star. She was wanted at every weird party.
Sure, yeah. And
Of
if
course.
you're looking for that movie, the title is Scat on a Hot Tin Roof 2.
Yeah.
It's the sequel. To,
The sequel. Oh my God, I love it.
Another one.
Yes. So now, so we met all those years ago. Do you have something you want
No. So you met all the way back in the 80s.
Yes.
You
Yes.
stayed friends all along.
Yes.
all along? And then now, Chi Chi has, of course, you've done, God only knows how many titles. You've done
Thousands.
both gay, straight.
You're still
you
doing
name
them?
it.
Bisexual, transsexual. I still have my own company, which is Channel 1, Rascal, and we're not making as many movies because porn is in the toilet.
I know.
Literally, and
Yeah.
not in a good, dirty way.
Well,
Right.
does it have something to do with the likes of Scruff, Grinder, the fact
No, it
that
has
you
to
can
do
get
with the
it
likes of people
YouTube?
stealing.
That
Right.
too, but I'm
Right.
thinking because it's so readily available, do people buy titles anymore?
No, Scruff and Grinder has ruined the nightclubs.
The nightclub
Yes.
thing, right.
And you know what? I have to say, in the
Which good for
nightclub
them,
sense,
though. I mean-
well, but I want to give you props, and I gave you props on Hey Queen when I did. I was like, RuPaul and RuPaul's Drag Race has kind of revolutionized drag and shoved drag down middle America. And now it used to be you'd want the Martha Wash, you'd want the Jeannie Tracy, you'd want the Weather Girls, you'd want these things at your venue, Taylor Dane, and these singers to come to your bar, and that's what drew people in. Then that became passe, and then DJs.
Right.
Yes,
Big,
which
like-
are still big.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They're on a resurgence, I think.
Well,
They're on an
nowadays, and maybe, I don't know, and I hope not for the girls of season 7, but nowadays, a RuPaul girl fills a club.
upswing. That's
Wow.
true. It's
Wow.
true. I see it with my own
I
eyes.
just did a show in Cleveland, the last show of DWV. It was their very last show.
Right, because they've broken up.
Yes. And
Oh, the group with Detox and
Willem
Willem
and
and Vicky.
Vicky, right,
Vox,
yes.
yeah. So that was monumental. It was fabulous. It was
The
packed.
farewell performance.
Yes.
Farewell
Did they know at that time it was the last show?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They did their commitments. I think there was a little tension there and
Slight.
slight tension. And so, but you wouldn't know it from the stage.
No, because they're being as professional.
Yeah.
So they packed this club.
They packed this club, and I mean, and
You wouldn't
God,
believe it.
Gay Pride in Columbus, Ohio is another. I did Gay Pride in Columbus, Ohio, and the club there, Access, literally built an outside circus tent.
But by the way,
for their concert.
Columbus is so huge in the gay. I mean, and they do so much for the
You've
community.
done a lot at Access, haven't you?
Yes, and they've got Nina West there, who's a huge icon
Yes.
in that community.
And
who
Victoria West.
And who I live
Yes,
for.
there she's
Ooh,
so
that
sick.
is my bitch.
Yes, girl, she is a sick
I
bitch.
live for that bitch. You would love her. Ruth.
yeah.
Victoria West.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Nina West's drag mother.
Yeah.
And she is
They're both
everything.
fabulous.
She's like Mama Tits.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, okay. Mama Tits,
Who I love.
is okay. And why she hasn't been on your show yet is beyond me, because that girl needs to be
She's
on
amazing.
the show.
She's amazing.
But you saw the video where she took, I mean, she's like a mountain of drag.
Yes.
She is a
Yes.
mountain of drag.
I
Literally
haven't
a
seen the
mountain.
videos. I worked with her.
Haven't you heard the big viral that went viral
What'd she
about
do?
her, where she had not a knockdown drag out physical, but a knockdown drag out with those people that picket gay
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw
yeah.
that. Yes.
Girl, she read that guy down to the ground and back up and around the tree and across the street and back.
That's
through the
Mama
water.
Tits.
And it's the visual of this 7-foot monster drag
With
queen
bigger tits than mine.
Yeah.
and just big blue and pink hair that raises her up 10 more feet.
Yeah.
Standing over this little guy with a God hates everybody
Granny.
sign.
Yeah.
Granny. Or a version thereof.
Yeah.
I hate slags.
And just read him, and the crowd gathered around this, and it
Yeah.
was just really, really
You
cool.
can see it on YouTube. It's all there.
Yeah, it's
hey,
awesome.
Listen, we're going to take a quick little break, and we're
Okay.
going to come back, and I want to talk about the state of porn, the state of your DJing career, and I want to finish
thanks.
the story about your gastric bypass,
The tummy
plastic
tuck, the tummy tuck.
surgery, and there's so much here.
Yes.
So we're going to come right back with Chi Chi LaRue right after this. Now, before we talk to Chi Chi LaRue about the state of adult entertainment, let's take a moment to talk about Squarespace. Now, we've received some really great emails at RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com about your Squarespace websites. This one here is from Richard Frank. It says, "Hi, RuPaul and Michelle. I just wanted to say hi from the UK, and thanks for recommending Squarespace. I'm a huge fan of RuPaul since Supermodel back in the 90s, and of course Drag Race since the start. I make video games for a living and have done so for 18 years. And 6 years ago, I started doing drag in my spare time as Kitty Powers. Hey, Kitty girl. A couple of years ago, I decided to start my own business, and for my first game, I decided to combine my love of drag and video games to create Kitty Powers Matchmaker, a dating simulator for smartphones and tablets starring my drag alter ego. After your recommendation, I set up my company website, magicnotion.com, using Squarespace. It's made it so easy to create a professional and easy to maintain site. Having a blog that's easy to run with a contact page and all the analytics built in saves so much headache when you're running a business on your own. I even used your special discount code, so thanks for the saving. Anyway, I thought you'd like to hear about how you've helped me, and thanks for all the inspiration over the years. You really have truly made me who I am today. All my love to you both, Rich Frank." I love hearing that. That's fabulous. Okay, now his website is called magicnotion.com. So you see, kids, everyone uses Squarespace, even people who have the ability to create, games on smartphones, which are very complicated. But he's chosen to use Squarespace for its beautiful design and simplicity. Rich's site is great for him. And on the site, he has a trailer for his matchmaking game, a blog, links to download the game on different devices, and he does it all with a sense of style. Rich's game is free, pretty addictive, and quite fun. So after this podcast, go to magicnotion.com and check it out. And you can get a free trial with no credit card required by just going to squarespace.com. When you're blown away and ready to confirm a plan, use the offer code RUE to get 10% off, just like Rich did. Now, you'll be getting a great deal and helping What's the Tea stay free. Hey, free What's the Tea? Thanks again to Squarespace, and keep sending in your websites to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com. That's squarespace.com, offer code RUE, R-U. All right, we are back with Chi Chi LaRue, our very special guest. So many stories, so much life packed into this one lifetime Chi Chi.
It's awesome, right?
It's crazy. The Chi Chi is the premier, the most famous, successful porn director in the world, in the history of mankind on this planet. Now, when you started in porn, did you know that you would have this long career?
No, because when I first started in porn, people didn't want me around because of the drag.
Right.
Yeah, so they when
So it was okay to be a porn director, but not to be a drag queen?
Well, no, it was not okay to, back in the it was, gay porn so uber masculine that for this drag persona who, listen, I busted in with guns a-blazing and wanted to be in porn and be a part of it, that I just went for it. And I did it. And I also didn't want to give up doing my shows at the 4-Star and getting in drag and going and finding a date. And
So drag came first and then porn. And how did you get your start in porn? Who gave you your big break?
William Higgins.
Oh, the famous William Higgins.
Yes.
And how did that happen? Did you seek him out, or did you
Well,
say...
I should actually take that back. Christian Mann, who was managing Catalina, and William Higgins was there. I went in for an interview like a week after I moved to Los Angeles. I had nothing. I came here with
From
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. Came here with nothing. Drove with my friend in his little green car, and we drove here with again, I say nothing. Absolutely no furniture, nothing. And
a dream.
$30 in our pocket and went and bought ramen noodles, which is, there's a steak on sale for $1.99. We'll get that and split it. So I don't know how I remained fat though. So,
ramen noodles.
Totally.
That's why.
So, Okie dog actually. So, it was, I went in for the interview and I knew so much about porn because I worked in an adult bookstore in Minneapolis before, and I was a porn freak,
aficionado.
But not only was I a porn freak, I knew when these girls would change their hairstyles. For God's sake, I mean, I was I was a fan. I was a true fan. I was a music fan and a porn fan, and still am. And it's I knew so much that they hired me right away, and I was in sales and. I just was too rambunctious and too full of shenanigans to remain sitting at a desk trying to sell a movie. And this was right when Power Tool was about to come out. That's when, so Jeff Stryker and that whole thing was just the...
Was Power Tool a game changer in the business?
Well, that's probably the most successful gay porn of all time.
Really?
Yes, and it still sells to this day.
To this day. And it's Jeff Stryker, and who else is in it?
Jeff Stryker's the star. Mike Henson. It's not.
Oh, I love
John Davenport.
Oh, I loved John Davenport. Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, these were the iconic boys of the day. So, and Jeff Stryker being found, by John Travis and getting a full through the car wash, the hair, the teeth, the everything, the body. I mean, and then that iconic image of him in those white sweatpants.
Right.
It was just the buildup and the anticipation. They didn't release that movie. They kept threatening to release it for months and months and months. And people were literally going insane for that movie.
Right.
And when it went out the door, it probably made, I don't know what it made, but it sold thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of pieces.
Right. So that was at Catalina. You got the job and you were in sales. And did you sell? You would
cold call stores and say, hi, this is Larry Pisciotti from Catalina Video, and we got a new title called The Bigger They Ride, or whatever, and then how many pieces do you want?
Right.
And
did they sell themselves, or did you really have to work to sell them?
Some would sell themselves. Anything by William Higgins would sell itself. Some, anything by John Travis would sell itself. But back then, they could take 6 months to 9 months to make a movie because they would just wait for the next boy that would come in the door, or they would find on the beach, or they would, find at the mall, and they would just keep these scenes in the can, and they would just shoot them as as it went along and then make the movie.
I see. So they would shoot several different scenes over the course of a year and then put a compilation of a movie together.
But they had an idea and a script, and they would build these sets. They had a studio in San Francisco. They would fly everybody to San Francisco and fly the boys to San Francisco, and the sets would be built. And, like for a movie like Big Guns, which was, costumed out the yin-yang, and it was a military-ish movie, and the sets and the, the bunker and the fatigues and all the blah, blah, blah. It was a project back then.
Right.
Have you ever been to a filming of one?
I've been to her set before.
In San Francisco, you came to that garage.
Yes, in San Francisco. But the first one was here in Los Angeles,
Oh, it was?
in Burbank on Whitehall Street.
What the heck movie was that?
It was, or Whitnell. And it was with Daryl Brock. Daryl Brock was in this scene. It was the first time I was ever on the set of one. And of course, by the way...
Was it My Sister's Husband?
I have no idea what the title was.
When
it was the most unsexy thing
Totally.
you could ever imagine.
was?
Because it was technical. It's like going to a taping of a television show where it's like stop, start. And
It's like going to the taping of the RuPaul's Drag Race season finale.
So wait a minute.
Well, it's actually it's not even. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
no,
it's,
yeah.
it
Because I
was-
would love to go to a
It's
taping.
technical though. Or testicle.
Yeah, but there's got to be at some
Michelle,
point where they
it
get
is
into it.
They do
Right?
get into it, but it's just really, really boring. I'm
tedious.
telling you. And I shouldn't
Serious,
say
yeah.
that. I shouldn't say that because, I'll just tell you. The other day, I filmed a scene with my new exclusive, Jason Phoenix, and this porn boy named Armand Rizzo, who's like the shortest boy in porn. He's like 5'2".
How cute is
Right.
that?
And he's so cute.
It's
but
the
his,
Hervé Villachez of porn.
totally.
Shut
and
I hate you right
But
now.
he is ethnic and Latin.
They blame,
So-
the cock, the
And you know
cock.
what? Yeah, totally. Can you say cock? Okay. That's why I said frock before.
No, you
okay.
can say
so
it.
and Jason is 6'3". So
Oh, my
he just
God.
spun this little boy around like a rag doll, which was, and I just let them go. And it was, for the first time in a long time, kind of exhilarating
Well,
and
that's
exciting.
what I mean. That's sexy.
Well, so you let them freestyle. You didn't say, okay, we're going to change the camera. Okay, can we get that light over here? It wasn't like that.
No, it was just go.
Right.
I
And-
think that's how you have to do it these days.
Well, you know what, Michelle? I have trained myself, and I'm trying to not train myself to be so directorial and so in control.
Right.
I've learned to let go of a lot of control, which is good for me because I'm such a control freak about things that are ridiculous to control and you can't control. And it's more fun now to let it go and let the cameraman go and just tell them what I want and what my vision is when I see them. I'm doing the makeup now, as Dirty Sheila is my makeup girl name. So I do the makeup now because I get so wound up on the sets before a shoot that I need something to do. Otherwise, I'm fritzing out of my mind. So I decided, why hire a makeup artist when I can do the
Well, I
makeup
want to come.
myself?
So next time we do a shoot, I want to go.
Okay.
I want to see it.
You do know that some boys would be intimidated by having a woman on the set.
Really?
Yes. Some boys would enjoy it and probably lose focus because of your tits. But
I can come dressed like a...
Because and now that's an
Trump.
interesting point you bring up. Because what percentage of the boys, in generally speaking today, are straight, and
Lots.
what
Gay for
percentage?
pay?
What percentage are actually gay men?
well, it used to be like 5 years ago, it was more straight. Now there's lots of gay men getting into the business and kind of taking it back over, which I think is fabulous.
I like
because,
that, yeah.
Yes, because there's lots of guys that are doing it that would rather be anywhere else, but they know they're going to get a check.
I see.
And I don't really like working with those.
Well, can't I
kind of guys.
just hide behind a curtain and have an electric...
Yes, Michelle. We'll put you
We'll
in
get
male
you-
drag. We'll put you in grandpa drag.
And they just give me
I just wanna-
an Hitachi magic wand and leave me alone.
Let's touch on a little subject. There's not going to be much filming in California anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because of that awful
Because of that new
man
law?
from that awful man from AIDS Healthcare Foundation, who's trying to put into law the condom mandatory law, which I don't need to be told to wear
why does
condoms
it
because
have
I've been
to
doing
be-
it for 28 years.
Right.
But the
right.
point is, why does it have to be condom mandatory if the people know what they're doing going in?
Because
They're adults.
because he's being ridiculous, and he's driven.
Is that going to happen?
Honey,
It's already happened?
Falcon, Raging Stallion, and those people have already moved the productions to Las Vegas
Oh, okay.
To avoid the law.
to avoid the law.
mandate, whatever it is.
Well, there you
Yes,
have
the
it.
mandate, which is, it's so it irks me.
you understand why they're doing it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Listen,
course.
I understand why they're doing it, but they're not doing it for the right reasons. It's just girl, we could go on. This
No, we
get
could
me-
go on this. We
Yeah.
could go on about the fact that
I
prostitution should
don't
be legalized
need
and all this
totally
stuff. but-
and marijuana
Right,
and
right.
blah 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 and whatever. So I don't need to be told to to put condoms on my actors because I've done it for 28 years. I've never made a gay, straight, transsexual, or bisexual movie in my career without a condom.
Well, cheers to you.
Yeah. Have you ever done a granny porn without a condom?
I have not.
Oh, well, there you have it.
No,
you
and there
have
are
it.
some grannies that can turn it
You know,
out.
Yes.
there's some actual granny porns,
I
too.
do, I
And
do
that's
know.
Yes, of
another
course.
fetish.
Yeah.
And actually, MILF movies are probably that in the straight porn. Just
Yeah, that's
to
a big
give
one.
give some shout outs to my straight gal pals out there.
Yeah.
MILFs
Yeah.
are big.
Yeah.
MILFs are big, and natural is big.
Sure.
The
Well, I'm out.
Yeah, you're out, Michelle.
no, but you know what? The Barbie dolls
Yeah.
of porn are really they're not popular anymore.
No.
Well, that's because all of the everyday women here, especially here in Hollywood,
Yeah.
they all look like the body.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how porn dictates our culture, how our taste in sexuality is so dictated by what we grew up watching in porn, especially with the internet and stuff. But I think one of the things you were going to say, I'm going to keep recapping,
Yeah,
is that because of the internet, a lot of the porn production has, and stealing it and getting it for free, nobody's going to buy it.
Well, we relate, honey, because you make records, and
Yes, yeah.
it's
But-
like
But ultimately, you have to find another place. I'm a recording artist, but I have to find another place to get that money. And there's other places.
well, girl, you're smart. I remember one day you told me, you said, "Yeah, if they want my album, take it. As long as they come and see me at the club, or they
Sure.
watch my
It's
TV show, or they buy my T-shirt, or buy my
Yeah.
candy bar, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if and nowadays my productions are low budget, but they're high budget commercials for my store in West
Sure.
Hollywood, for my toy line,
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
As I'm 54 years old. I am dressing up and playing music for 25-year-olds that are screaming Beyonce at me the second I start. And it's like I just started.
Yes.
It's just like,
Well, Rue loves himself some amateur porn too. So when you make it look that way,
Yeah.
I think my husband loves voyeur porn. He loves amateur, and I think for that, Rue's getting the door. And I think for that, I think that's a good thing.
Speaking of grannies,
Our next client has just walked in.
yes.
But I want to just touch on this other point real quick, which was you were going to say what percentage of men in gay porn are straight and which percentage are actually gay men?
well, it's hard. It's really hard for me to answer that because there is a whole universe, like in Florida, of straight guys that are just doing porn as their job, and they're just waiting for the next scene. Which, they're coming out of the woodwork. They're everywhere. It used to be you couldn't.
So would you say it's 50-50?
Yes. You know what? I'll be safe and
Yeah.
say 50-50.
Right. Because a lot of people just don't know. They just don't know.
And don't care.
They don't care.
Honestly, I don't care if that man. I prefer gay porn, just because I think it's sexier.
Right.
and-
Well, but gay. I mean, like I'll say Alexander Green, this newcomer, who when I shot his first movie, which was Frat Boy. Fuck
Frat
Down?
Boys on the moon?
Frat Boy.
Frat
Fuck
Boys
Down.
On the moon!
No, Frat Boys from Pacoima.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take that. I'll
Frat
take
Boys
that.
duck hunting. Okay, so it's when he started, he couldn't even speak. He was so afraid. But he's this Italian from New Jersey with just everything and more down there, and it worked. But he's straight. Now he is just hitting it and loving it, and is just kissing and slurping and working it out. And I believe that everyone in the world is inherently bisexual,
Yes.
and is obtainable or wants and thinks about other things.
Right.
Especially guys that are in the straight world that do women all day long. They're the ones that are ringing my phone at night and want to come over and try on my pantyhose.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's always
So
that way.
that's, you know, it's like, as you go on, things get old.
Yeah.
And you want to experience something else.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just human nature.
Now, okay, so here you are. You've been in the business all these years. You're DJing.
Yes.
You've got the retail brick and mortar store on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yes.
And the website is ChiChiLaRue.com.
It's actually C1R.com. But if you do ChiChiLaRue.com, it'll take you there.
Right. And you sell butt plugs.
Oh.
And I sell.
Hello, somebody calling my name?
I sell room aromas.
Oh, yes,
No,
I
let's
know.
go back to butt plugs.
I've heard of room aromas.
Is that like
Which
taboo?
you can't call them that anymore. Now you have to call them electrical electrical conduit. What is this?
Oh, it's
A
a
USB
cord.
port?
No, like what is any
Connection.
conduit?
What are
Is
we
conduit
talking-
We're
a
talking,
word?
I think, about not poopers.
Not
but
poopers, but
the
poppers.
Other, yes.
Oh.
Yes. What we know
So
as poppers,
you-
but they have a different name for them now
Okay.
because you can't call them that,
No,
right?
you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
No. And you know, it's don't take Viagra with it. So
Yeah.
so it's electrical conduit
Yeah.
cleaner.
So you sell all the things involved with sexuality. And
Yes.
what happens, like in the record industry, the movies become an advertisement
Yes.
for all of the other products.
Yes.
And so you're doing all of these things. You had no idea you would be in this business that long.
No.
When did you know that this was going to be your forte, that this was going to be...
Right away.
Right away, you knew this, that you
Just
were
like
going to
you.
be...
Just like you.
Well, you
You
know-
know your calling.
You know what? I feel like the universe has a stage direction. It says,
Yeah.
you right there, a little
Yes.
to the left, and that's why I've been around for so long.
I mean, I know a lot of people that are gone that
Sure.
that start and think it's just going to be the easiest, most glamorous, fun,
Thing is
rockin'
that you're
thing.
really good at it, though. You're really good at it. I
Thank
don't know
you.
if people out there watching, if you've ever seen one of her movies, what happens is this is someone who understands angles and what the viewer is thinking. She goes there. She says, "Let's get it from underneath. Let's get that shot."
totally.
You know what I'm saying?
I can film rim shots better than anyone.
Right.
And I'm not talking basketball.
No.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, right. But I'm waiting for Granny and the Frat Boy.
Yes.
Is the movie that I'm.
I want to do widescreen TV is what I want to do.
Ooh, nice.
And I want a big voluptuous
Granny.
that that is I'm kidding, but I want someone like big. I want like a big girl.
You mean like a
like
Latrice?
a Vicky, like a
Latrice?
God,
Royale?
that would be a 52-inch screen. Yeah, yes, like that. But I want her to be a granny, and I want big pendulous.
Oh,
Right.
there's plenty.
Yeah.
I know.
Go to
but it's-
Florida, go to Texas.
Yeah, I know. It's just that a lot of them are afraid to do it. I mean, all the girls that do it are all. I mean, there's some stuff like Vanity. Do you know Vanity?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember.
Okay.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Well, she's like. She looks like Vanity.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's got so many fans and she's so popular that it's just, listen, men drop to their feet for these.
I do.
right,
girls.
Right.
I drop to my knees.
Okay, but do you buy them Birkins? And do
I
you
don't buy them
them
shit.
Okay, well there you go.
know.
But these girls, like
I just-
my friend Tiffany Alexander, Tiffany Alexander. She's she travels to here and there and everywhere and comes back with Chanel and this and that and this, and she doesn't really have to do anything for that.
Right.
And it's kind of like, yay,
Good for
shopping
her.
spree.
But
Yeah.
Shishi, there is a price to pay, and you've been in the
Yes.
business
course,
here in
of
Hollywood
course.
for
She's
years and
paid
years.
in other ways.
And
Yeah.
you've seen the kids come here; they become huge stars overnight, and then they're gone in a year or two. Is there some advice that you could give to someone who's going to be in the business or who's in the business now to sort of plot their longevity in the
Well,
business?
you have to actually go in it as you're a business. You have to set yourself up. You have to stay away. I mean, listen, kids at 25 are going to party.
Sure.
They're going to drink. They're going to do their things. They're going to work it out. They're going to pop their pills. They're going to do whatever it is because it's fun and they're out and they're experiencing life. I can't say anything about that. But just people need to be careful,
Right.
and not lose themselves in a fleeting moment,
Right.
Because
and how did you not lose yourself in all of that?
Though. I did lose myself in it. I became an alcoholic, and I've been dealing with that, and back and
doing
forth.
a great job.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, Michelle has experienced some of the more glamorous moments.
Now, before we go any further, though, because we're gonna tie this up in a minute. But speaking of tying it up, we talked about your plastic surgery. Now, we know that you've had the gastric bypass. You lost so much weight. Then you had a gallbladder operation, which was required.
Then we had the lower facelift.
The lower facelift. Now, how did you find your doctor? What do you do? What's the first thing you do? How do you shop for a plastic surgeon?
The plastic surgeon was recommended to me by the new program.
It wasn't Solka. Solka
didn't tell me where to go. I didn't have to have a passport. So,
why the long face?
Do you need a passport for
Well,
Tijuana?
you know what? A friend of mine just went to Singapore and got the full change. So,
oh, really?
For a quarter.
Well, you know what? And it looks pretty good and
I
juicy.
think everybody goes overseas now to do that kind of stuff.
So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend
going overseas.
Or going anywhere. I mean, like that.
Thailand's the hot spot.
Thailand. I'm sorry, that's where she went, not Singapore.
Right.
Thailand.
That's the hot
But I mean,
spot.
if you know,
really good doctors over there, though, I have to say.
In Thailand?
Yeah, really good doctors over there.
On Michelle's recommendation, go to
Yeah,
Thailand and
right.
don't go to Tijuana.
So
No, don't go to TJ. No.
So you asked a friend. I said, "Look, I'm going to have." Did you have shame around having a facelift?
Hell no.
No. So you asked a friend, "Who do I go to?" And they
recommended Dr. Cohan, and he was at the Lasky Center. He's now in his own practice in Beverly Hills. He was just so cool.
Did you ask for pictures before and after?
you need
Oh,
before and
I do,
afters.
honey. He presents you with an iPad, and you scroll through.
Did you recognize anybody?
No.
No.
And was it brutal coming out of it? Was it brutal recovery?
You know what the worst part of plastic surgery is those damn drains that
The
you
grenades.
I hate
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have a fabulous picture on my iPhone that I'll show you where I
They
have
look like
these two
earrings?
yes, big earrings.
How long did you have the drains on for?
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks?
It's not long.
No.
but you have
Week
to
and a
mark
half.
down what comes out of them. I had them in my armpits after
Yeah.
my tits.
Yeah, you have to drain them.
Yeah.
You have to have
And you
someone
have to
that will
write
drain them
down.
for you
Yeah.
and write down the amount.
Yes,
And
it's
after
gross.
your mid facelift, how many days before you could put makeup on again?
Well, all of a sudden I had, like, after the drains came out, I had this bruised, masculine, square jawline. Like, I looked like a boy for the first time in my life. And
You're like, there's my jaw.
I actually loved it. I looked very masculine, like I was in a bar fight or
That's
something.
were you feeling like Trade?
Because you had a double chin.
Right.
Yes.
She hadn't seen her jawline.
Yes, so I hadn't seen my jawline, but it was very square and very swollen right around the chin and just the lower cheeks. And I liked the way it looked.
Did you feel like Clark Gable?
Totally sexy. I mean, and then it went away.
Yeah.
And then I think the first time I was in drag was maybe Perez Hilton's birthday party, if I'm not mistaken. But
How many weeks is that? From chop to from yank to party?
3.
3 weeks? Oh, okay.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad. And it's,
I had to cover up bruising with makeup, but it was easy.
and how many weeks after the surgery was there no bruising at all?
A while.
What's that? A month?
2.
2 months.
Yeah, because I'm a bruiser. Because
You're
I've
so fair.
and I also take medication to thin my blood. So it's
Right.
like
I see. Right.
You're
right.
like a peach.
So then you had this gorgeous facelift, and then recently you said you went and had
A tummy tuck.
A tummy tuck.
Yes,
Skin
and they took off
taken away.
17. They took off 17 pounds from my stomach, and they also liposuctioned and cut out fat from my moobs.
And this is by the same doctor who did your facelift.
Yes.
You went back to him, and you would recommend him.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's great.
And all in all, just the plastic surgery part, not the gastric bypass. Actually, how much was the gastric bypass back then?
You mean
It
dollars,
was
mean?
Yeah. Or in pesos.
Like
In
no,
yen.
I think it cost like 16,000.
16, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
but most of the time, when you're 360 pounds, insurance covers
No
it.
way, not if you want to go to that doctor.
Ah,
Right,
is that it? Depends who you go to.
You have to go. They wanted me to go to the university.
Right.
and have it done. And I was like, no, I need to go where it's done all the time by doctors that do it all the time.
Yeah, and
They
they
don't
don't.
feel safe.
You can't, and they, and also insurance probably should have paid for my gallbladder surgery.
Right.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah. But Obamacare they don't take Obamacare in TJ, do they?
No,
Tijuana?
not in
In
TJ.
Thailand?
No,
No.
it's in
No.
Puerto Rico, maybe.
Okay. All right. And so how much was it for the lower facelift and
Tummy tuck?
Well,
the
it's separate.
The
separate.
tummy tuck was like, and my liposuction.
Right.
Tummies are
moved.
usually like 10, 12 grand, right?
It was $12,000 for the tummy tuck.
Not that I
and then
looked
an
into it or
And then
anything.
he threw in the moob job for like another $1,000.
So did you have to get a new belly button?
I did.
Yay! You get to pick a belly button.
So wait a minute. They take the belly button off.
Well,
No, they don't
belly
take it off. They
no,
pull the skin down so
yeah.
low.
Right.
They had to create a new belly button.
Oh, they cut a hole, and then the belly button is still there.
So now I have an Audi.
Oh,
Do you have an Audi?
I have an Audi
Is it
now
gonna
instead of
go
an innie.
in?
Did
Oh,
you
I
choose
wanted
the
to.
Audi model?
No, I didn't. He made me
Is
an
it a
innie.
hernia turned
He was
belly
actually
button?
he was actually mad that it turned into an Audi, but I don't care.
So with your Audi, how many miles per gallon do you get?
Is it a V8 or a V6?
Does it have a sunroof?
Oh, it's diesel, isn't it?
It's diesely.
Oh, I love
So,
it. I'm
is that the end of it? Are you going to do anything else? Are you going to have your face removed, scraped, and then
No,
put back
but
on?
I
Any
do.
free-floating
I've been
silicone?
looking at myself, and I think I'm just so afraid I don't want to look like a manny.
Listen, I'm
right.
going to say looking
A granny
at you,
or a manny. You know what I mean? I don't want.
I don't think you need to, Sheesh.
Okay, so listen. So here's what I did. Crazy me. I went and had my lips pumped
right. With what?
with
Motor oil.
Juvederm or with
Restylane.
Restylane.
Wrestling, yes.
And it hurt like a mofo.
Why? The person didn't numb you?
It had numbing. It was
That's
there was-
after it goes in, darling.
Yes. Okay. No, they didn't numb me. They gave me ice.
You have to go
It's
to
the same
My Girl.
person. It's the same. My same doctor.
Yeah.
Listen.
Anyway, so he pumped up my lips, and they were fabulous for 2 days, and they went away.
Well, that was the swelling. No.
My lips went back to my normal lips. In 2
Your
days.
body
Okay.
just absorbed
This
it.
is what happens.
Yeah.
People go in and they try to be conservative.
Yeah.
And you like when I do it, I do it. I only do it when we shoot, and I
Right.
only do my top lip, and I only do a half a syringe. That's all I need. I like when it's
I would
really
never
swollen for a
ever
week.
even think that you do it.
Exactly, because I do it so subtly. But when it's
I mean, I don't
swollen,
want Detox's
I get freaked
lips.
out.
I
no,
really
but
don't.
that's different. That's silicone. So
Oh,
if
really?
you go and take a full syringe instead of a half syringe, let's say,
Yeah.
or for somebody like you, since you are a man, don't
Yes,
tell anybody.
yeah. Mhm.
Maybe even 2 syringes, you wouldn't see it. I'm telling you,
Michelle.
I swear to you, I've had a full syringe in mine, and you still couldn't tell. It's all about who does it. I have a girl in the valley.
Okay.
That's real good.
Right.
Well, and then
Trust
I might
mother.
have my eyes done because I'm.
But your eyes are perfect.
Well,
you
they're
mean
they're a
the
little
bottom,
crepey.
lower, or
They're
top?
a little crepey.
There's nothing you can do for crepe.
Wait a minute.
There
Are you
isn't.
talking brow lift,
Look
or
at-
what are you talking
I'm
No, he's
gonna
talking
pull
about
out
a
my-
lid
like
lift.
this.
Yeah, a lid
all
lift.
This.
Yeah.
All this.
He
That's
thinks he has
easy
hoods.
breezy. You could do that in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Who is right? That's one
Yeah.
of the easiest surgeries.
Yeah, that is the easy
But
way
what
to-
I'm saying is, you don't need to. Like, people look different after they do that. Renee Zellweger, she looks completely
Well,
different now.
Yeah, it's
And some people just look more awake.
Yeah, I love it. I think she looks great.
I don't
Renee
think she
Zellweger.
doesn't, but she looks different.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson, the one who's going to be on Dance with Stars, she's another one who did it.
well, she looks amazing.
she does look amazing, but you do look different.
Different
You see?
is okay, you know. But this is you have to ask yourself: you want to look different? You want to look older, or do you want to look yanked and snatched? I choose snatched.
Well, you know what? I
You
choose
haven't done
Snatch too.
shit.
Well, but you know what? Listen, I'm at that age. She and I are the same age. You
Yeah,
know,
but you haven't done anything. You talk about being yanked and snatched, and you've not done anything.
Why you calling me out?
I'm calling you out. You don't
I
have
dare
to,
RuPaul
'cause
to
we're-
do the ALS eye lift challenge.
We're two white bitches here that our skin's fucking craping and falling off. You're sitting all
Yeah.
black and beautiful with not a crack on your fucking
No,
face.
I am going to have my shit yanked. Trust me.
I'm
Trust
waiting
me.
because
Mark
you've been
my
saying
words.
this for 15 years.
Yeah. Well, you know,
You and Tanya Tucker, she went and did something about it.
Did she?
Yeah, really
she
young.
had her first one at like
30
35,
something.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Courtney Love said that Goldie Hawn told her to do it before she turned 40. So Courtney Love got her facelift at 39.
Well, Courtney,
Yeah.
Courtney Love looked beautiful. I mean, she looked like Madonna.
She was gorgeous when she first had it done. done. She
Yeah.
looked gorgeous,
I mean, you know,
Did she do it again? Because it's crazy town now.
Well, no, you have to take care of yourself also. You can't smoke 20 million cigarettes.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
You know, and it's so funny when you go get plastic surgery, that's the first question they ask you, do you smoke?
Yeah, absolutely
Right.
they do.
Because
Even for boobs. It affects your healing.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank God I don't smoke
And
cigarettes
booze
anymore.
affects your healing and, you know, lots of stuff. I mean, this tummy tuck is kind of weird because
Big surgery.
it's right where I split.
Right.
Everybody is.
You know, so I'm on an airplane.
Because it's right in the gunt area.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the gunt is what my friend Bradley called
Or
it.
the
Your
fupa.
gunt.
Your fat
So,
upper pussy area.
mussy. Okay, so seatbelt on an airplane.
Yeah.
That's where it hits you.
Yeah.
Jeans, blah blah
Is
blah.
it still tender?
Yes.
And how long? Okay, how long from this recording?
A
how
month
long,
and a half.
It's been a month and a half. That's all.
And is
Yeah.
it still numb?
Yeah, it's going to be numb for a long time.
Okay, having had 2 cesareans, it's going to be numb forever.
Okay.
Really?
Yes, it's numb forever, but it lessens a little.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different down here.
Okay.
Like my boobs are not. It's different down here.
It's
for some
not bothering
reason.
me. It's not.
No,
I mean,
it's just weird.
You
So
know,
Michelle, you're telling me you're numb between me down there?
No, you don't have a cesarean there. You have a cesarean in the gunt.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
there's
it's numb when
feelings
you touch
above
it.
and there's feelings below, but not where it's
not
where-
on it.
Yeah.
it's really weird.
And my feelings in my someone was like, "Oh, you don't have any." I mean, I'm not a nipple play person, so
Right.
I could
Neither
care
am I.
less.
Yeah.
So, but you know, there's still a little tender from the jamming.
That'll come back. That'll come back.
Yeah. So
'Cause
I
they
mean,
go in there with that caliper thing.
yeah, I know. It's just like I can't imagine. I can just imagine what I look like on that table being just jammed by
like a
that.
butterball
Right.
turkey.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
you lost all this weight. You had been a heavy person your whole life. You
Yes.
lost all this weight, so you had all this excess skin. The
Yes.
skin has now been taken off from
Yes.
the belly area.
Which really was traumatic for me.
Traumatic because it was it was part of you.
Yes.
It was something.
It was bizarre.
right.
It was something that just really freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because up till 40, your skin has elasticity. Once you go beyond, if you start losing weight,
I don't know if
Mm.
I mean, I think that was no way in
No,
HE
because
double
you were so
toothpick.
huge.
Yes, there
That's
was
why.
no way
Right.
my skin would ever snap
No.
back.
Well,
Ever.
Well, Shishi, you know, there's so many questions
proud
I
of
have
you.
to ask you. I mean, we could talk like this forever.
We could talk
and
forever.
ever and ever.
then
but
we'll go
we've-
do lunch.
We've got,
Well, let me just say one thing, just because I learned this from you.
Yeah.
My song "Sowahahaponwuz."
oh my God! I wanted to ask you about your
Yeah.
song. It's
Yeah.
on iTunes.
It's on iTunes.
and this is your first single ever.
Yes.
My goodness.
what took
you
you
believe
so
it?
long?
Fear.
Fear.
And then my friend Jonathan came to me with this song, and it's so ridiculous, and it's kind of like bump, bump, bump. It's very and I mix it when I play it at the clubs. I mix it with Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
perfect.
It's the same BPM.
It's yes, and it's kind of on the lines of "Baby Got Back."
I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah, and it's called. Your song is called.
Sowahahaponwuz.
So what happened was.
And it's spelled, Sowahahaponwuz. So it's kind of
By
like
Chi Chi LaRue.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that New York, oh no, honey. You know that.
Yes.
If Madonna calls.
Yes.
I love it. I cannot wait to hear. And you're happy with it.
I love it.
And are you doing shows? Are you incorporating
I
it into
haven't
your
yet.
DJ?
I'm
she
incorporating it
will.
into the DJing. But you know what? I look at listen, I'm going to do another song called Nilla Cakes, and it's going to be about white boy butts. So,
With the same producer.
With the same
Nilla
producer.
Cake.
What's the
And
producer's name? Jonathan
Jonathan
something.
Ashford.
Not
Yes.
Ashford and Simpson.
Solid as a
No.
rock. Solid as a car.
And I went to Willem had suggested this wonderful man named Mark who's got this little studio, and we went and did recorded it there, and he sweetened it and did all these weird things, and some of the things I really hated, and said, take that out. I don't want that, and I don't want a lot of weird voice tuning, and I don't want any of that stuff. I just
Who
want
would do that?
I don't know. It's
Ew.
No, I mean,
gross.
I mean, you're the treat, not the trick. But you know what I mean? It's I play that song all the time, and I love it so much.
That's the song we did with Lady Bunny.
Yes.
Called
Gotta
Lick It.
lick it.
Yeah,
Lick
Lick
It
It.
Lollipop.
Lollipop. Yeah. Lollipop, let you lick it, lick it, lick it.
So you've done this song. It's called What Happened Was, and it's available on iTunes.
Yes, so don't try to spell it. Just look under Chi Chi LaRue.
Chi Chi LaRue.
CHI.
My
Yeah.
God, what a career! So, what is next for you? You're still doing the porn directing. You're traveling the world DJing.
The DJ gigs are insane.
Insane.
I just went
every
and DJ'd
weekend. You're out.
Yes, I just did a private party in Berlin for my friend Tim Campbell, where he flew in 50 of his favorite friends to this a luxurious hotel that was designed by Karl Lagerfeld in the outskirts of Berlin, and we stayed there, and the party was glamorous and it was fabulous, and I got to play. Donna Summer and Diana Ross.
Oh,
and
music.
Old Madonna, like Dress You Up. And
That's one of my favorite Madonna songs.
I mean, I got to play Grace Jones. I got to play Bridget Bardot.
Oh, wow.
I got to play all these really fun things that...
Eccentric.
Yes.
I love
and
it.
that I didn't have to play
Beyonce.
Iggy Azalea.
Right.
Which I love her.
Love her, but it's the youngins,
Yeah. And I didn't have to play Beyonce.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually... I think he would have been very mad at me if I would have, because he wanted Studio 54.
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah. He wanted Michael Jackson.
Amazing.
I love it. Great.
So, PYT, honey.
Yeah.
And people can find you, of course, on Twitter.
Yes, at DJ Chi Chi LaRue.
And
Yes.
Facebook
And
and
Facebook
the like,
is
and
Chi Chi
Instagram and
LaRue.
all
There's
that.
a bunch of Chi Chi LaRues on Facebook, but I'm the one with the beautiful picture.
Of course. Yes, you are.
With not a drop of airbrushing.
None.
Well, you are a fabulous guest, a fabulous friend, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that you got to be with us.
Me too.
So much. I mean,
Yeah.
we could do hours with you because you've got so much information. We didn't
We
even
already
talk-
have done hours
It's like a
with
coffee
Chi Chi.
clutch with you guys. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we could go off on... I mean, the veins that could open up
Yes.
that we could talk about.
tentacles.
Yes.
It's just great, and especially since you've been in Hollywood for so many years, so many stories.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to have you back.
I mean, doing cocaine with a rock star in a bathroom.
Ooh.
I don't
Off
wanna-
somebody's penis.
I don't
Sounds
want to
great.
really. Oh, I have done that.
Of course you have.
But I don't
course
want.
you have.
I don't want to tell you who I did it with. But,
Foreskin shots and...
one of my favorite icons. I mean, I've been really lucky to meet every icon, and I'm a fan. Like, I'm such a fangirl.
I understand.
That when I met Cher, I was gobsmacked. I was just like, and I'm.
There's only a few that could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I met Madonna.
Don't say it because you're going to ruin my moment. Don't say
Well,
it.
she's in the Deeper video.
Yeah.
She is
That's
in.
that's my all-time.
I know
and
she's your
don't want to meet her
icon.
because of that. I don't want to meet her.
Well, good, don't.
Because of that.
Right,
Don't.
no, it's a
I would
good
suggest
idea
you not.
It's a good idea to not meet
I've heard
your
that from
icons.
not one or two people. I've heard it from everybody.
But why would you want to meet? Because the magic is really in your own fantasy. It's
It
like
is.
the film projector and the screen. You are the film projector onto a screen.
Yes.
But if you turn the light on in a theater and you go look at that screen, you go, "Oh my God, it's made out of paper and it's
Right.
dirty."
Right.
So there's a hole in it.
And there's a hole
true.
in it. Yeah.
Listen, I got when Joan Jett played Gay Pride. I mean,
that's
she's
another one of
okay.
mine.
Well, I got to go backstage and meet her, and I was afraid that she was going to be not good. And when I met her, she was awesome. The Runaways were my high school go-to.
She's my lesbian crush.
Yes, well, honey,
and always has
there
been.
isn't a better one.
Yeah, amen.
I mean, it's just she was amazing. I mean, I've got a big giant Joan Jett tattoo.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow.
I love her so much.
Me too.
Almost as much as Madonna. She was so influential.
Well, and now she, you know
and
what?
Pat Benatar.
I've seen now.
But she was amazing.
But I see now that Joan Jett is bigger now than she. I mean, she's
Right.
And
she's
still
got
in
such
concert, we're totally getting off track, but
Yeah.
still
But you
in
know
concert.
what? The best concert.
She's amazing.
The best, and so like if you listen to the records and then you listen to the concert, it's
Identical.
totally.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She is
Sorry.
amazing.
Sorry, see, I could go.
Yeah.
I could.
No, I love it. I love it. You need to have a podcast. That would be great.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And
I
Joan,
mean,
when
yeah.
you're in town, you tell me and I'll come over. See what happens.
Wow.
All right, kids. Well, Chi Chi LaRue, you can always
Thank you.
find Chi Chi LaRue. Such a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much, Rue.
Love you,
Michelle,
baby.
I
Love you
you
so
too.
much.
So informative. I can't wait to go and
Find our surgeons.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So, all right, kids. Well, until next time, it's RuPaul. What's the Tea with Michelle Visage.
Bye.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to
Can
subscribe
I get an
on
amen?
iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.